and true through the air. Should do it. Let's see. Wow, look at that!
I don't believe it. She split my arrow. Oh, not even Robin Hood could do better than that, Louise.
Have you heard of Robin Hood? He lived in a forest glade with his band of merry men, and he was the most famous archer of all time.
And down here in the woods today, there's another band of merry men. Watch.
Here they come. Come along, gather round. They've all come out in the woods with us today because we promised we'd tell them some of Robin Hood's adventures after we'd finished our archery practice.
Come and sit down.
It all happened a very long time ago. England, in those days, was ruled by some people called the Normans. The country looked very different to the way it looks now, with lots of forests stretching across the countryside. The Norman rulers were very rich and lived in big, strong castles. But out in the fields, you would see poor people trying to make a living by farming a small piece of ground. They were Saxons, and they had a very hard life. They had to give lots of their money and food to the Normans, and that left them hardly anything to eat. Some Saxons got so tired of doing what the Normans told them that they ran away to the forests and lived as outlaws. There were herds of deer in the forest, so the outlaws had plenty to eat. Mind you, they had to be careful to avoid the Normans, because if they were caught, they would be taken off to prison or suffer even worse punishments. Most of the Normans were cruel to the Saxons, but the story goes that one Norman felt sorry for them. His name was Robin de Courtenay, and he tried to help the poor by giving them money. This made the other Normans very angry, and they decided to throw him into prison. But Robin escaped just in time and fled into Sherwood Forest with his friend Friar Tuck.
Oh, Robin, I can go no further. Leave me here, for I must rest.
By nightfall, Robin and the friar were worn out.
We should be far enough away by now.
I never knew that a body could get so tired.
Next morning, they were woken by the sound of a troop of soldiers.
Tucker. The Sheriff of Nottingham. I wonder how much he knows.
I'm not waiting to find out.
First 4 men after him.
The soldiers chased them deeper into the forest. Robin was a good swordsman, but he was heavily outnumbered. He desperately needed help, and unbeknown to him, help was on its way.
Robin, where did it come from?
Come on.
That was where the arrow came from. It was an outlaw and his son that lived in this part of the forest. He was watching the fight from up a tree, but when he saw how Robin was outnumbered, he decided to help out. To celebrate their escape, Robin and the friar were asked back to the outlaw's hideout for a feast. It's not far to go. Soon, Friar Tuck was doing what he enjoyed most of all, eating. The outlaws had cooked a huge venison stew made from deer they had shot in the forest.
Oh. Well, Robin, I'm feeling myself again.
Yes, well, there's plenty to feel.
What? Oh.
And I thank you, too. Well, come on, Tuck. We must be on our way.
Oh, no.
He knows too much about us now.
Then why not stay with us? We know how well he fights. Alan saw him, didn't you?
Aye, with a sword.
Well, what else does one fight with?
Swords are not easy to come by.
We have to make do with quarterstaffs here.
A quarterstaff is a strong wooden pole that people used to fight with. Robin had to prove he could use one as well as any outlaw.
Well,
What a fighter.
you made your point, Norman. You fight well.
And that's when he's exhausted.
I don't suppose you use the bow?
Try him. Just try him. Boy, get one of those pigeons and tie a piece of cloth to his tail.
Oh, no, Friar.
I do insist.
This was one of Robin's favourite tricks, to shoot a piece of cloth off the tail of a pigeon without harming the bird. The boy tied on the piece of cloth, and to make it even harder this time, Friar Tuck put his hood over Robin's head.
Boy, release the bird.
He'd done it.
Men, I think we've found in the court here our natural leader. Now, what say you?
He's for me.
Alan Adele?
All right. But I cannot call him by that hated name, de Courtney.
Call him Robin.
Just Robin?
I know. We'll call him Robin Hood.
So the outlaw band had a new leader, Robin Hood. And the first thing they had to do was find some Lincoln green cloth to make their new clothes. Now, Robin knew of a fair that was nearby, and he was sure there'd be some cloth for sale there. So, disguised as a monk, he and his followers set off for the fair. There was much merrymaking to be had at a fair in those days. There were sideshows and performers, jousting and wrestling bouts. There were also lots of market stalls selling all kinds of things. Robin and Friar Tuck went straight to the cloth stall.
In green, yes. A fine Lincoln green. But this cloth is not the cheapest, Friar. Perhaps this...
Oh, no matter. My friend here is paying. He supports our order.
Indeed. Do not be deceived by my humble garb. I am noted for my charitable works.
What length of the green, good sir?
All of it.
All of it?
Robin needed all the cloth because it had to make clothes for all the merry men, and more outlaws were joining his band every day. Meanwhile, the Sheriff of Nottingham arrived with his friends. All the people booed. They hated the sheriff for his cruel ways. But they soon started to cheer again when the next joust began.
Come along, everybody. Roll up. Fresh pies. Only 2 pence each. Who'll buy my pie?
Friar Tuck had found another job, selling custard pies. And they were about to come in very handy, for just then, one of the sheriff's spies recognized Robin.
One moment, you.
Yes, my good man.
Don't you good man me.
It's Robin Hood. Seize the outlaw!
But Robin's men were ready. They were beating back the soldiers with Friar Tuck's custard pies.
Get Robin and Will. I'll take care of the guards. Hey! Come on, jump. Now.
Come on, Robin!
Away!
Stop them! Guard! Stop them! Stop them!
So, Robin Hood and his band of outlaws escaped into Sherwood Forest with the cloth for their new clothes. Meanwhile, we've been dressing up our merry men in Lincoln Green.
And this is our Lincoln Green cloth. It's a potato bag painted green, and it's got 3 holes at the top and 1 at the bottom. And I'm going to put it on Rachel. If you can't find any potato sacks, you could fold a large piece of strong paper, paint it green, and stick it together at the sides.
Is that on straight? Yes, it is. Very good.
Do you like our Robin Hood hats? I'm going to show you how to make them. We make them out of newspaper. This size is best. And then we cut across it diagonally. Right across there. Then I fold back that bit there. There we are. And the same the other side. That's it. Then staple down this side. Staple gun. Should do it. And there we are. All finished. How's that?
And to finish it off, you just paint it green, stick a feather in the side, and there's your Robin Hood hat. There you are, Louise.
Thank you. Now we're ready to go marching through the forest.
Yep, and we have a special song to march to. Are you all ready to sing our Robin Hood song?
Yeah!
Right, let's go.
Robin Hood was an outlaw bold, dressed in Lincoln green, oh. Robin Hood was an outlaw bold, and he lived in the woods in days of old. Hey ho, the outlaw bold, dressed in Lincoln green, oh. Bend the bow and trim the feather, men of Sherwood stand together. Merry men all down in the woodland glade. Merry men, down in the woodland glade.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Shall we march through the forest?
Yeah!
Right, come on then.
Robin Hood was an outlaw bold, dressed in Lincoln green, oh. Robin Hood was an outlaw bold,
and he lived in the woods in days of old. Hey ho, the outlaw bold, dressed in Lincoln green, oh. Bend the bow and trim the feather, men of Sherwood stand together. Merry men all, down in the woodland glade. Merry men, down in the woodland glade. Merry men, down in the woodland glade. Merry men.
Shop, in the street, at the stop, after school, at the fair, at the pool. Everywhere we got lots of things to talk about, so much to say. What do you think we'll talk about today? Talk about. How do you do?
How do you do? How do you do again?
Two fat gentlemen met in a lane, bowed most politely, bowed once again.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do again?
Did you hear how the children joined in with a how do you do? How do you do? How do you do again?
sing that with them?
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do again?
Again.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do again?
Now you be ready to join in our song with a how do you do? To